What is going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be doing some major suspension upgrades to the 4Runner. Going to be doing a 2.5-inch lift with the tried and true Bilstein 5100 shocks. Going to be using Old Man Emu springs front and rear, SPC upper control arms in the front. Going to be replacing the worn out lower control arm bushings with Whiteline polyurethane bushings. Going to be doing a diff drop in the front to correct the CV axle angle after the lift. So quite a bit of work. So this is going to be taking place over a couple of days. So today we're going to get started with taking the front end apart, and I'm going to try and get those lower control arms out first and get those bushings out, get new bushings in, and then we'll go from there. So make sure to stick along for this transformation. I'm expecting a much better riding and higher performing truck after we do all these upgrades. So yeah, pretty excited. Let's go ahead and get started. Alright, day 2. Got quite a bit done last night, as you can see. Front suspension's pretty much completely out. Got the knuckles all the way out of the truck, upper control arms out as those are getting replaced. Got the struts out. So what we're going to need to do, first of all today most likely, is I'm going to take these knuckles and press the upper ball joints out of them, because the design of the new SPC upper control arms actually has the ball joint in the upper control arm. So we're going to be installing, it's like a little insert that goes into the knuckles, and that's what the new upper ball joint is going to press down into. That's pretty high on the priority list today. After that, we need to get the lower control arms out of the truck, because I'm going to be pressing new Whiteline bushings in. Those should be here today, so I want to get those out and get the old bushings pressed out of these and hopefully get the new ones in. And once those couple of things are done, that should be, for the most part, hopefully the hard stuff on this. Then we can just pretty much start bolting new parts on. So that's today's plan. Let's get it. So here's a look at one of those upper control arm inserts that go in the knuckle in place of where the OEM upper ball joint would go. See, I've got that one partially in. We're just going to need to press that the rest of the way in. And new ball joints are going to be on the arms now, and they're just going to go in from the top. Alright, day 3, and if you can't already tell, this video is more of going to be a general overview and for entertainment purposes. I'll try and provide some information and helpful tips along the way as we go, but the best resource that covers all these jobs we're doing in great detail is going to be Timmy the Toolman here on YouTube. I can leave the link to his channel down below. He has a video for literally just about any job on a 3rd Gen 4Runner in great detail. I use his videos as a reference anytime I'm doing a job on this truck. But so far today, we have the rear suspension completely in, so the new Bilstein shocks and the Old Man Emu springs. Earlier today we got the driver's side lower control arm out, and if you're familiar with 3rd Gen 4Runners at all, you know the lower control arms on these things are not easy to do. So driver's side came out, no problem at all really. This passenger side, the cam adjuster bolts are stuck in the bushings in the lower control arm, so we're gonna have to cut those out. Luckily, I do have the Opt Off-Road Cam Eliminator kit on the way, so that's gonna replace all this stuff anyways. But since I already have the driver's side lower control arm out, I'm gonna go ahead and press the old bushings out and get the new Whiteline ones in that one, and then we can work on trying to get this side out. Alright, got it all finished up finally. All in all, it took about a week and a half, so I don't know exactly what you just watched. Hopefully it made some sort of sense. I didn't film a whole lot. I honestly filmed like a fraction of the whole process just because it was so much and I was trying to get it done. But I tried to cover like the main big points. So right now I'm kind of just going to explain it and put some B-roll behind. So pretty much everything on the front end came apart and got replaced. It was much needed. Everything was worn out. I ended up solving all the issues I had. There was a front end pop that I would get sometimes while turning and going over bumps. That's completely gone now, so I'm stoked on that. So we did Whiteline lower control arm bushings, and that is probably what made this job the most intensive. Getting the lower control arms out on these 3rd Gen 4Runners is not easy. You gotta pull the steering rack back to get room to get the lower control arm bolts out, and then a lot of times, like it was on this, those lower control arm bolts actually seize to the bushings and you end up having to cut them out, which is what we did in this case, and I think that might have been part of the reason I had that popping. And honestly, that would have prevented me from getting in alignment. So Whiteline lower control arm bushings had to replace this stock lower control arm bolts, which are the cam adjusters. And since I was going with SPC adjustable upper control arms, I just went ahead and did the cam eliminators for the lower control arms. This is going to prevent us from knocking our alignment out while off-roading. Did a Toytec diff drop in the front to correct the CV axle angle with the lift. Bilstein 5100 shocks all the way around, Old Man Emu springs. It's about a 2.5 to 3 inch lift all the way around. I didn't actually measure, but it's a good height. I'm happy with it. In the rear, when I was putting in the new rear springs, one of the upper control arms snapped. They were super rusty, so I got 2 new OEM Toyota upper control arms for the rear. When I was putting the front back together, I noticed my passenger side CV axle was pretty shot. It was pouring out grease literally while I was just putting the truck back together, so I decided to go ahead and replace that while I was in there. So a lot of new parts, a lot of work, but definitely worth it. The truck ride's amazing now. The alignment is really good. Steering wheel's perfectly straight, track straight, steering feels great. The ride is nice. It's a bit firmer, but not uncomfortable at all. I think the stock stuff that was on there was all worn out and it was too soft, honestly. It would bounce multiple times over bumps. So all in all, very stoked on it. Drives great, looks awesome. I actually ended up upsizing my tires as well. I lucked out on a trade for some essentially 33s. I went from a 265/75 to a 285/75, and these tires are a full inch taller overall. So I think it fills out the look nicely with the lift, and it will help a lot off-road. So definitely stoked to get it back out on the trail soon. We're gonna be doing Windrock Park in August. That's gonna be all of ours, first time out there. Should be pretty cool. Probably will make a video about that. But yeah, that should pretty much do it on this one. Something a little bit different from the usual, but I've been having a lot of fun learning new things on this platform. It's a lot different from anything else I've ever done, so that's been a bit refreshing. But I'm gonna go for now. More Miata content to come, of course. Thank you so much for watching. Have an awesome week, and we will see you in the next one.